Namaskar and welcome to the show. Before I introduce you with my guest, I think there are a few points which I would like to share with you because in the last decade, the IT revolution has given birth to the concept of this, what we call it, a global village. The integration of the economy and the speed of communication has further given a boost to this concept. Now the entire planet is a single unit devoid of any boundaries which were based on earlier concept of nation theory. The current scenario has changed the entire social fabric of the society, and the SNT, I mean science and technology, is also not remain aloof of it. If we look at the SNT scenario at the global level, most of the Nobel Prize shared by the nationals of different nations working on the same problem. In India, since the inception of Department of Science and Technology, which is responsible for the policy formulation and create a conducive environment for SNT, the international cooperation always remained a priority area since the beginning. The reflection of the same can be seen quite prominently in all the SNT related policies of India. We have more on international cooperation in science and technology. Today, we have in our studio our guest, Shri Sanjeev K. Vaishnaji, who is heading International Division, mainly looking after the bilateral agreement of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So, Vaishnaji, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
And we are very, very thankful that you have accepted our invitation for this show. My first question, or it's not question, it's a query. How you think is like international cooperation in science and technology is important?
You see, we have some limitation at home. So first thing the international cooperation does is to bring value to our national programs. So we have been doing something. For example, there are issues like water, food, affordable health care. So we have been trying our best. But then we would like to get enriched by overseas exposures. What are the practices they are doing and how it could be put to the best use of the Indian community.
Okay.
So value addition to the national program is the first reason why we are going for international cooperation.
Okay. And like when Department of Science and Technology was came into existence, besides like creating an infrastructure, the training of the manpower and taking science to the people, and international cooperation was one of the important, you can say the guideline on which the entire department was supposed to work. What are like the mechanism, or what is the you can say the method through which we are trying to achieve that?
You see, it's a threefold approach. One is, of course, trying to answer global issues. For example, weather. So weather in West Bengal and Bangladesh could be addressed together.
Okay.
So there are issues like that, like our seas or boundaries.
Yeah.
So climate change now, for example, we are studying. So one is addressing global issues. Second is to create our own pool of people who are trained into the best practices. So what we are doing is we are sending our students, our faculty, our senior researchers abroad for best exposure in their respective field. Third is our institutional build-up. So how best institutions are doing in terms of scientific infrastructures and manpower. So we are trying to imbibe those best practices in our country.
Means like which are already existing elsewhere.
Yeah.
But how it is done? Because I have seen the report. Let's say there are, bilateral agreement. There are some multilateral agreement. What is that?
No, bilateral agreement is one-to-one.
One-to-one.
So one country with another country.
Okay.
And again, in that there could be many players from both sides. So when I say many players, it means many institutions who could jointly deliver. For example, we are working with Netherlands on the smart energy projects. So smart energy now, as you know, we are currently energy deficient country. We are trying to pull in energy from all sources. We are encouraging renewable energy generation at home, which could be put back into use into the main grids. So what we are trying is that we have identified several key institutions on our side, several key institutions on the Dutch side. They are working together. In the multilateral fabric, it is more of a political platform which we are making use of. For example, BRICS.
Okay.
So platform is not on scientific basis, but it's on political basis.
Okay.
And we are making use of it so that, for example, challenges faced by India are similar to challenges faced by Brazil, Russia, China. So very similar society, not very rich, quite huge in size, and doing with a moderate economy. So we are trying to address. In addition, we have entered into mission-oriented things. For example, International Solar Alliance.
Okay.
So what has happened that many countries have pulled in. India is one of the leader, and our Prime Minister has been awarded for that.
Okay.
For championing the cause of clean energy.
Clean energy, yes.
So we are trying to answer trying to provide clean energy solutions with the participation of researchers across the globe.
Okay. So, and what are the important, the bilateral agreement which are really, proved very beneficial to India in terms of science and technology?
Okay, India has science and technology agreement with about 80 countries.
18 countries.
80.
80.
80 countries, out of which 44 are quite active.
Okay.
But if you say within those 44, who have played very critical role, so there I would like to say on 2 or 3 times. One is where both countries from researchers from both sides have contributed roughly equally. So we call it co-investment and co-reaping. Co-reaping means whatever comes out in terms of papers, patents, they are jointly authored.
Okay. Okay.
So those kind of collaboration we are having with good number of countries like United States, Canada, Russia, Germany, France, Australia, Israel.
Okay. Okay.
On the other hand, we are giving our scientific strength to countries which are friendly to India. For example, countries in Africa region, country in our immediate neighborhood. So we are trying to develop their best scientific practices.
Okay.
Because we have a belief science is for everybody.
Everybody, yes. Vaishnav ji, I think I have to take a small break, and we will be back and we will continue our discussion on international cooperation in science and technology of India.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. So after the break, let's take our discussion forward. Dr. Vaishnav ji, can you give us some important highlights of that international this cooperation in science and technology?
Okay, I'll start with something which has appealed to everybody.
Yeah.
For example, you see, in 1990, India was a country badly affected with polio. And for the first time, we established a cooperation program with Russia, through which we started producing in polio vaccine in India.
Okay.
There were some issues, mostly environmental, because polio vaccine is produced after killing the rhesus monkeys, which was not seen as a very good
ethical
issues.
Yeah.
So we tried to overcome this, and we took some solutions. So initially we started repackaging.
Okay.
So we were buying bulk from the producers
Okay.
and repackaging it here, and simultaneously processing for the environmental clearances and other things.
Okay.
What happened till that time in India, polio vaccine was given because it was quite expensive. So it was given in a bulk package of 20 doses in a vial.
Okay.
So hospitals were to wait for 20 families. So most of the hospital have given a day.
A day, yeah.
That
I
you
think-
can get it done
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday. So
Yes,
any
yes.
particular day, and they were sure that they will get families in a lot of 20 or 40, and
You want to say that the packaging was large.
Packaging
and
was
number
large.
of the
yeah.
like,
So
too
if
big.
you don't use that vaccine after opening within 2 hours,
Okay.
vaccine will go waste.
Okay.
That was the situation. So when we started first repackaging and then producing it here, there were a lot of resistance by the multinationals. They didn't want to see that they have to reduce the price. And when we sold our own vaccine, they gave us a lot of roadblocks, but eventually those roadblocks helped us because every time they came up with an issue, we improved our facility. Today we have a WHO certified facility in India which was created in 1992, and what it resulted into, immediate result was that price of polio vaccine went by 1/10. So earlier what we were buying 200 rupees for 20 doses, immediately it becomes 20 rupees for 20 doses.
Okay.
Second impression it gave was, once multinational knew India can produce it, they slowly went back, and we had started many centers. Not only, first was of course government sponsored, but then several private players came into, and the price went rock bottoms. Today it costs roughly 10 rupees for 20 doses, and that could help India to launch programs like Pulse Polio. And eventually we feel very happy that because of a project we did 20 years ago, today India is polio free.
Can you give us some more it's very interesting because we never knew, like, it was the Russia from where we got this vaccine, and there were certain issues, and finally how they were overcome, and then finally we were able to achieve that. Do we have more such examples of
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let me move from the field of healthcare to some other. You see, there is a spray gun which sprays materials, desired materials, at a micron size thickness. So what happens, this lot of aero engines are to be coated, and they were going for mostly any aircraft which we are producing. So aero engines are to be coated once every 5 years. Okay, so either we are producing or we are using. So every 5 years those coating has to be done. So with Ukraine we started with detonation coating gun, and that has helped lot of saving in terms of foreign exchange, and now we are doing this at home.
So there's a one very important area which is emerging, I think, which concern the entire humanity. That is the environmental, the issues which like the climate change and global warming. I think entire globe is affected by that. Do we had any kind of the platform or the collaboration with different country to tackle the issue? Because it's going to, as per the latest finding, it's a reality. We have to live with that. So how will what kind of cooperation or the things are already on this issue, climate change?
Climate change is a very serious concern.
Yeah.
And we are addressing it nationally and of course internationally. And because is not only question of changing weather, but also the question of adaptation.
Yes.
So not only of human being or animals, but also of the plants, crops, agriculture.
Yeah. Entire life form.
So
I think.
entire life format. So this is something which is top on an agenda. With several countries, we are trying to do it in different agroclimatic zones.
Okay.
So we are seeing what are the changes they are experiencing, what we are. So it's constantly exchange of information and data. Of course, not raw data, processed data. And we are trying to get enrich and trying to adapt ourselves with the informations or experience of other country. Is one of the key area of cooperation.
Like, suppose if I consider myself as a scientist, working scientist, and I'm interested in research, or a scholar pursuing my PhD, or a student, what like the options are available to me so far as what we have achieved in terms of different agreements with the, you said 80 countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, let me say there are 2 or 3 kind of things which we are offering. For example, one is fellowship kind of programs. Fellowship kind of programs. So we have signed agreement with number of countries like France, US, Germany, under which we are offering free flow of students for a limited period.
Okay.
That limited period could be 3 to 6 months. Normally we are picking candidates who are already done initial lab work, lab course, who are exposed to research practices, and then we are taking them. We are also providing support through exchange projects, which means 2 institutions are engaged in a joint research problem.
Okay.
And we are asking compulsorily that a student must participate in those programs.
Means he has to visit and work there for some time.
Yes. And similarly, a student from that country has to come to India.
That program is for the students.
For the student.
Research
It's a research problem and with the participation of a student.
Okay.
One is of course fellowship mode,
Yeah.
which is free and where students are having their own issues. So we are asking them that your research problem should be aligned to your PhD topics.
Okay.
But in second case, this is a problem between which is identified by the 2 institutions, and then we are supporting exchanges. We have also done our agreement with couple of countries where we are even supporting the internships.
Internship.
Yes.
Okay.
So people, student can go and do their internship work for 3 to 4 months, 6 months.
It's more of an exposure kind of thing.
It's
to
more
the
of an
students.
exposure
That
type.
means we had the internship program, then
Fellowship.
the fellowship program, and then the joint project where
In
we
which
had
they
the
can
component of like working in mutual exchange of scientific or scientists to both the countries. Dr. Vaishnaji, I think we'll take a small break and we'll come back again and we'll continue our discussion.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. And Vaishnaji, my question is like it's an Indian who are going abroad and doing. Do we offer similar, the kind of opportunity to the foreigners?
Yes, in fact, we have identified 3 group of countries from where we are going for this mode.
Okay.
One is our immediate neighborhood, so we provide them that they can come and work in our laboratory.
Okay.
People from Africa, so we have a fellowship program called C.V. Raman, through which entire Africa is covered, and
Okay.
we are getting researchers from 54 countries. Then we have program for Asian region, so Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand,
Okay.
that group of countries. So 3 group of countries we have presently targeting, and idea is that our researchers who normally fancy to go to Europe or America
Yeah.
should be exposed to the problems or challenges being faced by people.
Which are similar also to, they can have a connect with
Yes.
Indian situation also.
Correct.
Yeah, true. Now, one question which has been haunting me, because we talk about innovation, and then this is the IPR issue, intellectual property right issues. So whenever in any R&D project, joint project, some product or certain technology is developed, then how it is shared? I mean,
Well, it's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
And earlier we were not having awareness about this, and foreigners, especially Westerners, they used our researchers that they could give them a ticket and get all the informations.
okay.
But now we are asking all universities and academic and research institutions that they should have an IPR cell in their respective organization. They should educate our researchers how to protect it.
So-
And when we are doing a joint projects, it becomes all the more important that what is their contribution to the entire thing.
Okay.
So we classify it as, for example, previous IPR, foregone IPR, so on which they are working, what new they are achieving, and how it is to be shared. So initially, of course, at government level, when we are signing agreement with any country, we tell them that in case the 2PI, the lead investigator of the project from 2 sides, we will ask them first to define their own roadmap for IPR.
Okay. Okay.
And they should settle it amicably.
Okay.
But in case they do not reach that position, and for some odd regions we have to interfere, then government has signed some agreement. So for each program there is a monitoring committee, which is normally called joint committee or joint commissions. So they look into those aspects with the help of experts.
Okay.
Which are not from the participating institution, but from some other institutions.
If we look at like the international division of Department of Science and Technology, like what is new in offering to our scientists, students, and I should say, because there are 3 category of people. One is a researcher, one is a working scientist, and other is students. So what kind of opportunity, I mean, is being offered to them or in coming future?
You see, there are several things. For example, in science, there are areas which are coming up. For example, now a lot of stress is being given to artificial intelligence and associated subjects, which we are calling together as integrated cyber physical system. So it includes big data, machine learning, cyber security, deep learning. So all those integrated. So that is one area which is coming up very strongly. Second area which is of great importance, going to gain importance, is quantum. So quantum mechanics, quantum computing, and related subjects, they will come up very strongly. Then there are issues which are very basic. For example, water. So water has several issues, like we should get clean water, water for agriculture. Here we also require education actually, because so far we are using fresh water for everything, which is not there. So a lot of social dimension are there of water which need to be inculcated in our masses, that how they should use the fresh water, because every day we are getting it reduced and reduced.
Yes.
Then we are also working like affordable healthcare, energy solutions, clean energy solution rather, I should say. Then we are looking for new technologies like manufacturing, advanced manufacturing technologies, so that we can compete with. So these are some of the areas where we are putting our emphasis. Tools, of course, remains more or less same, that we provide them research projects, fellowships. But what we are going to do is we are encouraging that whatever technology we are good at, we should go and give it to the market way which are deficient of technology. For example, African markets,
Okay.
Asian markets. So we should try out our technologies in those markets.
So it is in the form of entrepreneurship,
Entrepreneurship, even direct technology
or
transfer.
extension, or through a like extension project, bilateral.
Yeah.
Country to country kind
Country
of
to
thing.
country.
Okay.
So, for example, in Rwanda, we are doing entrepreneurship development.
Okay.
So that is one factor. In some other case, the technologies which are grassroots technology or let us say first grade technologies, we are trying to transfer it directly.
Okay.
So-
I think that means we have achieved many milestones. I remember like when the initial international cooperation with different countries started with having some seminar and symposia, but now it is the training of manpower, training of entrepreneurship, and working in a high priority area, both in the fundamental research and the applied research, and the things has been growing. I think we'll have a series of program on international cooperation in coming more programs, and we should call it a day. And thank you, Vaishnaji, for coming and accepting our invitation and enlightening us about this, the Indian international cooperation in science and technology. Please do not forget to share your views on the subject with us. Till then, goodbye.